The new Captain America just humbled the hell out of Wolverine. The best there is at what he does, just found someone a little better. So we go to United Nations, and the Secretary General is basically saying these superpowered motherfuckers are getting out of control. David Colton is going around hitting military bases, stealing nukes and shit. And now everybody's worried that these other countries are gonna get shook and start firing their own shit before David Colton comes for theirs. And while all this is going down, Nick Fury's sitting there watching, and Fury's basically saying, nah, I gotta put an end to this dude's shenanigans. So we go to the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and I guess X-Men, and everybody's basically trying to figure out how the fuck are they gonna stop David Colton. Ross is missing, Colton's out here snatching nukes and shit, and nobody knows what the fuck to do. Then Wolverine drops a bombshell. He tells everyone, yeah, I'm the dude that gave David Colton his powers for something called the Origin Box. And Captain Marvel's like, hold the fuck up. You gave powers from an Origin Box to a dude who got discharged because he was too violent? Good job, dude. And Wolverine's like, yo, I had to do what I had to do. Homeboy's about to die. And Wolverine kept the Origin Box, hoping all these big brain dudes could look at it and figure out what the hell is happening. So they start checking this thing, and Reed realizes there's still residual multiversal energy coming off the Origin Box. So whatever the hell was inside this thing, this shit didn't really come from around here. Meanwhile, Tony Stark is tied up dealing with another mysterious device found at Ross's base. And Ross is still missing, and now they got David Colton running all over the place with god-level powers trying to fuck shit up. Then they start going over the spots David Colton has been hitting. Carol already tried stopping him at Fort Greene. Namor the Submariner tried stopping him when David Colton went after the nuclear submarines near Japan. And now they realize this motherfucker keeps going back and forth through the Himalayas. Then we see Wolverine dip out. Looks like he's gonna try to press David Colton himself. So we go outside of Stark Tower. We got people pissed off, protesting on both sides. Some people are pro superheroes and some people are against superheroes. But either way, nobody really has control over what the fuck is going on. Because we got a Superman Captain America attacking different countries, taking nukes, taking weapons, and fucking shit up. Spider-Man is basically saying, a lot of these people are right, we do what the hell we want, and nobody really controls us. The Human Torch is like, yeah, well, we got some control. Luke Cage is the mayor, he's heading the polls, and people voted for him. But Spider-Man is like, yeah, nobody voted for some evil Captain America attacking all these countries and shit. Nobody voted for us either. And then he says that we don't need another registration act. We have to find some way where regular people can trust us again. And the Human Torch is Spider-Man with one of his lines. With all these powers that we have the responsibility to use them. And then Torch just dips out of there. And now we go to Thaddeus Ross, aka the Red Hulk. And this dude wakes up and realizes he's in Mother Russia. We got the Crimson Dynamo standing over him and a dude named Maxim, who apparently is some Russian minister, and they're basically like, yo, my dude, you safe, you good. Ross ain't trying to hear none of that. He's like, I'm a US citizen, let me go right now. And they're basically like, Ross, you can leave, ain't nobody holding you. Ross basically gets his stuff and like, yo, I'm out. And he goes outside, I need to get back to America, I need to get home. Maxim is like, you don't got no home, my dude. Your people's try to take you out, and America ain't the same like it used to be. Well, not the one you remember. Then this dude starts giving him the Mother Russia sales pitch. He's basically like, look, Russia is still standing. Unless we come together and stop this man calling himself Captain America, both our countries are screwed. But then he drops something even crazier. Apparently, Ross has been pumping himself full of experimental gamma radiation that's making him stronger, but it's affecting his mind. And the Russians are like, don't worry, Ross, we got you. We came up with a solution that's gonna make the Red Hulk unstoppable. And then Ross's eyes light up red. And now we go to Superman, Captain America, and some of this looks a little familiar. Anywho, David Colton basically takes out all the nukes on planet Earth. Then he goes back to his crib. And posted up at his crib is Wolverine and Bucky Barnes, aka Winter Soldier. And Colton ain't even worried about these dudes. Wolverine is sitting there drinking coffee like he's paying rent or something. Talking about, yo, you keep moving cabins around. But this one is pretty nice. Colton looks at these two clowns and basically says, you came here to talk me out of this shit, Logan? You were smart enough not to bring anybody with any real powers because it would seem as a threat. Because you two guys are light work. But Wolverine tells him, getting rid of the nukes is fine and shit. But where does it stop? Because today is nukes, tomorrow is tanks, and then it's gonna be guns, and then the soldiers. And eventually somebody's gonna resist, and somebody's gonna say, fuck you, we're not giving up our shit. And then you'll have to deal with them too. And it will turn into one huge clusterfuck. David Colton ain't hearing none of this, and he brings up a good point. You guys let Dr. Doom, Thaddeus Ross, the Red Hulk, you guys give these guys so much leeway, that's why they end up screwing you guys over. With all this power you guys got, what the hell are you doing with it? David Colton ain't hearing none of this. He basically tells them, I'm gonna take all the weapons from everybody on the planet and ain't nothing you two could do about it. And he asks Barnes, yo Barnes, what you think about all this? And Barnes pulls out his phone and says, yo Colton, you didn't get all the nukes, my dude. You wanna know where all the rest are? Wolverine's looking at Barnes and like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And Barnes is basically like, yo, this dude is right, man. We got all this power. We can do this shit quick. We can do this shit efficiently. There's people out there destroying the world. We actually have the power to save it. What the hell are we doing? Wolverine ain't trying to hear none of that. He pulls out his claws and about to scrap with David Colton. Bad idea. Before Wolverine could do anything, Colton knocks Wolverine's ass through the cabin walls. Then he drags Wolverine into space and he tells him, I'm sorry, I had to hem your ass. But if anybody gets in my way, I'm gonna hem their ass too, and drops Wolverine into orbit. So we go back to Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man Tony Starks. And Iron Man's basically asking Mr. Fantastic, did you figure out anything about that mystery box thing? Reed is still working on it, and Reed asks Tony, what's going on with that device you found at Ross's base? And this device is freaking insane. This thing just doesn't show you the future. Every time you use it, it creates a new universe, just to show you what would happen on one decision. We're taking trillions of lives being created just so you can get an answer. Tony is like, yo, my dude, I feel like a god using this thing. This thing is extremely unethical. And right where they're having a moral dilemma, something crashes through the ceiling, and here comes David fucking Colton, Superman Captain America. And Colton's like, yo, you guys got an ethical dilemma? Don't worry about it. I'll take that shit off your hands. Tony tries to flex, but Colton puts his ass down and tells him, I'm gonna remove that temptation completely. Meanwhile, Reed finds Wolverine buried in the rubble, and he's like, Logan, you good? And at this point, I'm realizing something about Colton. This dude is becoming a fucking thief. First it was nukes, now he's taking dangerous technology. Basically, if David Colton decides the world shouldn't have something, he's taxing that shit. This motherfucker has officially appointed himself Earth's Repo Man. So we go back to Nick Fury talking to the UN Secretary General, and Fury drops some pretty important shit. David Colton's power box wasn't the only one. More of these boxes have been popping up. SHIELD recovered one, but this bitch was already open. So someone else might already have powers. The secretary asks Fury if he plans on using one of these boxes if he finds another. Fury's like, hells no, but I don't want nobody else using that shit. And this is when the Black Panther shows up. Black Panther's like, same old, some shit never changes. And then he asks the question, who else are you trying to kill? Holy shit, what has Fury been up to? So while all that other shit is going on, Carol Danvers is at Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico, helping clean up another base Colton wrecked. And she's talking to Tony like, yo, we gotta stop this dude. He's setting the military back decades. But Tony tells her Colton still ain't finished. He took that crazy future machine, and more importantly, Bucky Barnes has switched sides. Bucky told Colton where the secret US facilities they need to hit next. So Captain Marvel dips out of there fast. And sure enough, we go to the Intrepid base in Montana, and there is Colton and Bucky. And these dudes did it. Every nuclear missile in North America is done. Bucky knows everybody's coming after them now, but he's like, fuck it, it was worth it. The whole argument is everybody's waiting for some supervillain to destroy the world, where you have regular people, some crazy person with all these nuclear weapons. All they gotta do is press the button, and nobody cares because these guys are in uniforms. Then we got Captain Marvel pissed, crashing into David Colton, and she's like, you naive motherfucker, you're killing all of us and don't even know it. She tries to duff out Colton, but Colton just turns around, uppercuts her ass, and knocks her out of the vicinity. And Bucky's like, Carol, chill out, man. We don't have to fight. And then all the Avengers pull up. And they're like, Barnes, you turncoat motherfucker. You're no better than Ross. You joining this dude. Meanwhile, we go back to the Black Panther, pressing Nick Fury. And now we find out why he's so pissed. During the whole situation in Symkaria, the UN coalition was using weapons on the Hulk that stopped them from automatically healing, old shield technology. Black Panther was like, dude, you gave that shit to them. Who else did you give secrets to? Fury gets pissed and basically says, you want to know why I brought shield back? Because somebody had to protect the world from shit exactly like this. But before the two can really get into it, a red alert. Something has happened in Euro-Asian aerospace, and Fury realizes something. David Colton didn't get all the bases. And Fury drops the bomb. Russia just started World War III. Anybody who's made it to the end, let me know if this video was too long, because this is officially my longest video. But this comic, this series has so much information. I had to be more in depth because I don't want to leave anything out. But I really enjoyed this issue. I'm a big Wolverine fan, so I enjoy anything Wolverine in it. But Wolverine getting fucked up is crazy. I don't know, man. Wolverine's been taking some beatdowns lately. But I enjoyed this issue, and I wonder if Captain America will come out with his divine powers when he get out of hell to fight David Colton. That'll be dope. If you like my content, rate, comment, subscribe. Take it easy. Later.